y'all, man. And yeah, we got WandaVision episode 8 Easter eggs, man, breakdown, man. So yeah, man, the episode 8 was so good, man. They went back in time, you know what I'm saying? You know, Agatha's heart, you know, let her go back and you know, flashbacks, you know, when she was born. We saw her parents, and then you know, trying to find out what happened. And then she went back to Avengers, you know what I'm saying? And then she went back to then she went to Westview. That's what all happened. She went to Westview. I don't know if she lived there though. It's like she is, and then she just built that house. You know what I'm saying? She did all that because she was mad, sad. And that's what happened. She just blow all up. You know what I'm saying? Blow all up. And then she made Vision inside her body somehow. You know what I'm saying? It was Vision. I'm like, damn. And that's how episode 1 started. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that's why she said she don't know, because she really don't know how she did it. She just did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, she real. Because I was like, how, you know, we was like, the whole episode, we was like, how does she don't know she did it? And then they finally told us how she did it. And she really don't know. It just came out and made Vision and boom, boom, boom. And then supposed to be a new Vision. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a battle. You know, episode 9. So I hope the last, you know, episode be, you know, 2 hours long, 3 hours. I need 3 hours long, 2 hours and 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? Of a show, of a movie. You know what I'm saying? But episode 8 was so good, man. A lot of shit happening, man. So everybody right to this, man. 58 seconds. 17 minutes and 58 seconds, man. But we're right to Easter eggs, man. About to break it down, man. And yeah. But the show is so episode 1 and how it climax each and every episode. Now we on this, you know what I'm saying? Now we on the battle. You feel me, man? So hey, it's a lot of shit, man. But yeah, but right to it, man. Like, it's on my channel, man. If you like videos like this, man, let me know in the comments, man. What the notification bell at, man? Let me know in the comments, y'all. But yeah, straight to the video. Let's get it.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman. Now, hopefully you've had a chance to see episode 8 of WandaVision.
Yeah, I saw it, but like, everybody talking about episode 8. It's trending. I don't know it's trending, but I know it's trending. Everybody was saying, even my boy Shy was like, oh, episode 8 was so good. Man, a lot of Easter eggs I'm already knowing. A lot of stuff, man. Whew, new Vision. You know what I'm saying? Is that the new Vision that people was talking about? You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit, man. But you know, straight to the video.
Which was absolutely insane. And if you haven't, spoiler warning, we're going to be breaking down all of the details, Easter eggs, and things you missed, including what's going on with the narrative, why Agatha showed up to Westview in the first place, what her main goal may now be, and of course, the callbacks and Easter eggs, for which there were a ton, not only for Doctor Strange, but really the Infinity Saga and flashbacks between Vision and Wanda, and of course...
the links that I saw right to the episode, it all came true. So the links was dead ass true. Like, some links that I heard about was in this episode 8, no cap. You know what I'm saying? Some links I heard about while watching this video, it came, you know what I'm saying, it was true. You know what I'm saying? I already know it was true, but it was like sometimes links could be kind of false or clickbaited. But this was true though. Some links was actually true on the episode. It was flashback. It was flashback on episode 8. You know what I'm saying? It was Avengers. It was Avengers. Not the whole Avengers, but it was like that whole, you know, that scene. You know what I'm saying? So some shit was true on the links. So it kind of did spoil it, but I ain't really care. You know what I'm saying? I'm still watching anyway. But yeah. So yeah.
What is going on at the end in the post-credit scene with Vision? We're gonna break everything down.
I want to know, this is a new this a new Vision? Because the people was talking about it's supposed to be a new Vision. Is this supposed to be a new Vision, something like that, man? Because the old Vision, well, he dead, but I don't know what's going on with the old Vision. You know, I don't know he dead or alive. But this one right here, we gotta watch out for him, though, man. We gotta watch out. Oh, Ultron.
Episode 8. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 800,000 subscribers, as well as Disney Plus subscriptions while the shows are live. We'll even announce a new winner at the end of this. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. And if you want, stick around to the end of the video. we'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So the episode opens with a regular Marvel logo going from red to purple to evoke that imagery of Agatha Harkness that we saw at the end of episode 7. Immediately lets us know that we're in Salem, Massachusetts, where the Salem witch trials took place. Now, obviously, Marvel found their special effects budget as the rest of the witches in her coven, including her mother, go full Ghostbusters on Agatha Harkness, and she begs them to stop. She tells them she can't control it. She basically warns them. What's really interesting is that she stands accused of stealing knowledge above her age and station, which immediately put me in mind of that comment from Wong to Doctor Strange when asking about the Ancient One's personal library, that no knowledge in Kamar-Taj is forbidden, kind of setting up the how to teach magic the right way and how to teach magic the wrong way in the MCU. The other two huge takeaways from the scene, it does look as though Agatha Harkness is draining all of these witches' powers. I'm not sure that's what they mean to imply, but from the way the beams worked as she overtook their blue beams with purple beams, it certainly looked that way. Even though she did send that blast wave out in every direction, she only basically sucked her mother's life force, and then we find out that the brooch she's been wearing is a brooch she took off her mother as well.
Yeah, that's what I said, because we was like, how'd she get the brooch? And she took that shit from her mother, from her own mom for it. And see how they turn old and shit, man. They turn old because they been using magic. When you use magic, it's time to turn young. And then you know what I'm saying, your power, no more powers, you basically dead. They basically like 100, 200 years old probably. You know what I mean? They probably 200 years old and shit.
Has any further significance has been a cause of much debate here in the past, and we'll see if down the road it holds any higher power. But for now, just a symbol of breaking free of her mother and her coven's restraints over her power and magic. Now, one quick snap, and we are back in Agatha's basement where we left off for episode 7. Now, while this scene is only about 5 minutes long, it is one of the densest in the episode and maybe the entire series. There are a ton of reveals and giveaways in Agatha's dialogue, almost every other line, as well as a ton of Easter eggs directly to Doctor Strange. So let's go ahead and break them down one by one. First of all, I love that Agatha makes fun of her accent that seems to come and go. You'll also notice that she does talk to her bunny, but since we know that Pietro is actually standing outside talking to Monica Rambeau, that officially rules out him shape-shifting in between the two. Although that character may be later revealed, the bunny might actually still be a character. Either way, her son was named Nicholas Scratch in the comics. No coincidence that this bunny's name is Senior Scratchy. We then go straight to school, Hogwarts style, in the MCU. When Wanda goes to use her powers, and Agatha Harkness points out, hey, didn't you notice the circle of protection, the runes on the ceiling? This is Magic 101. Only the witch who created this circle can use her powers within it. How come you don't know this? School takes a break for just a second, but don't worry, we'll be right back in it. And this is where we get a landslide of reveals. It's revealed that Agatha Harkness was the one definitely possessing Pietro, as she refers to him, fake Pietro or Fietro, and that she was the eyes and ears.
I already knew that because he came out of nowhere. Like, he came out of nowhere, like, not gonna do it, like, hey, you ain't gonna see your brother, you know, some shit. I'm like, hold on. And we kind of know like it was fake because he even look like Pietro. You know what I'm saying? He even look like her brother. Like, I'm like, man, come on. It was kind of obvious. Some people it was obvious, like, but some people was like, oh, it might be his brother. You know what I mean? So it's like it was 50-50 with certain people.
Basically, 50-50. She was asking Wanda when he said, "I'm not mad. I'm impressed. How'd you do it?" She was the one trying to find out all this time how Wanda was able to make this hex and all these spells at once. She even says the afterglow of so many spells, it's what attracted her here in the first place. So we now know that Wanda is the sole creator of the hex, which we see later in the episode, and that Agatha simply was attracted to the fact that this witch is so powerful. Now, in her frustration with this power level for Wanda and not understanding the fundamentals of witchcraft, she puts Hogwarts back in session, calls the possession of Pietro crystalline, then refers to necromancy as a non-starter because her brother is, quote, not on this continent and full of holes. Of course, necromancy, the ability to raise the dead. Yeah, necromancy, a non-starter in this case, but not a non-starter in the MCU. We're going to see a little bit of that in the future in What If. Now, as she's taking Wanda to school, I really like how the scene plays out because it's illustrating through witchcraft MCU context just how powerful Wanda is and the display that she's put on here in Westview. Agatha starts talking about a quick incantation and a feeble mind, as she says, and then points out that Wanda is controlling thousands of people at once. She then turns the cicada into a bird and says that a smallest convincing illusion took years of study to achieve. Meanwhile, here's Wanda, again, no fundamentals of witchcraft, and can do way more powerful things. This is very perplexing.
Your deodorant is the pits.
To Agatha, and as it's revealed, what she's been trying to understand this entire time. Now, when she turns the bird back into a cicada and feeds it to Senior Scratchy, there is a book open on the table, but there's also a book closed behind him. Now, on the front of that book, you can see what is clearly a Celtic symbol for a tree. This is a reference, I believe, to Doctor Strange in the Ancient One, who it's revealed during Doctor Strange 1.
So that's all, like, and I see how it's set up for Doctor Strange 2 or 3, or 2. Well, the movie called Multiverse. I kind of see how it's set up for it. You know what I'm saying? The wishes, the spells. You know what I'm saying? I kind of see, like, I'm already, like, knowing, like, this for, you know, for next year, you know, Doctor Strange.
That the Ancient One is of Celtic background. It definitely places magic, at least somewhat historically, there. We then get another Doctor Strange reference when Agatha plucks a hair out of Wanda's head to sort of recreate the walk down memory lane Ghosts of Future Past style. This is a nod directly to the scene where Doctor Strange needed a strand of Thor's hair in order to create the portal for him and Loki to see their father. Now, there are two quick symbols I'd like to point out. One on the floor. You can see here Wanda's covering it. I am not sure that that is a pentagram. I don't think that it is. You can see a couple of lines there that sort of make it look not so, although there are some lines there that make it look like it could be. The other symbol is this key symbol that we saw on the magic book at the end of episode 7. No reveal for that during this episode, but it looks like that same key symbol is illuminated here on the door that Wanda walks through in order to watch her memories. Speaking of which, the couple of people I was watching this episode with sort of said the same thing that I saw in the comments, that this next part of the episode was sort of unneeded for us because us, the audience, has been obsessed with her backstory this entire time. Of course, you have to remember, and I think this is worth pointing out, there are a lot of new fans just now finding the MCU with its...
That's why I said this is good. I mean, for us, we already know about her. Like, now, like, we already, I mean, we ain't see our parents yet, but we already know, like, back, you know what I'm saying? But new people, you know, that's good. They put it in there. Even though people say it ain't good, it's good to put it in here because it's like for new people that's coming in, you know, every day it's always new people always coming in, you know what I'm saying? So that's good for them to say, oh, yeah, okay, that's her parents. Okay, they got blown up. Okay. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't watch MCU like that. But now they going to, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of good for people that's new. For us, like, I already know. I ain't to the parents, though, but I already know, like, what happened to the parents because they told Ultron and, you know, you know what I'm saying?
Immediacy on Disney Plus. So even though we know this backstory rather well, there were some reveals like why she likes sitcoms so much. You can tell from the scene.
That's why. Cause I was like, why she like? And that's why, cause she was little. It calmed her down. You know what I'm saying? The sitcoms. So, you know, that's why I calmed my powers down.
Visualizes why she made all these sitcoms as a part of her new reality. But also, you have to remember, we're obsessed with this. We've listened to the backstory of Ultron. It was reiterated at the beginning of this series. But for newcomers to the MCU, for someone who didn't know about the Stark bomb, this was a very poignant and visceral scene. And I don't think it was completely lost on hardcore MCU fans either, that we got to see a vision, pun totally intended, of what real happiness looked like for Wanda when she was younger, who her family was. Quick side note, we finally get the reveal of her parents. Turns out those leaks were false. Her parents are not the two that we see in the commercials, which raises the question, who are the two that we see in the commercials? But either way, this first scene of her back in her childhood home ends with the Stark bomb that blinks for days. And at first, Agatha is convinced that she's a young witch using a probability hex, as she calls it, to stop the bomb from exploding. However, she finds out that's not the case and makes her press further. That brings us to the Hydra base, where she volunteered and was one of the only ones, along with her brother. They were the only two to survive. We've heard this backstory famously in the post-credit scene for Captain America: Winter Soldier. Now we're seeing it play out in real time. Now, aside from just narrating the scene for you guys, you all watched it, there's two huge things to point out. The first of which is when the stone...
Hold on to your... No! Oh, no, because Tom and Jerry are coming...
explodes, she sees a vision of what we know as a classic outfit Scarlet Witch, which may be a vision of her future self.
That's why I said, like, I say that shit. That's a future self.
Of her powers in that moment. The second thing is that what happened with the footage earlier when it was broadcast out to the sword base, where she was sort of editing it, they couldn't see the footage, it would sort of skip around. That same thing happens on the monitor in the Hydra base. They show you the scientists can't figure out. She's standing there one moment, and then the next moment she's laying down. They didn't see anything of what happened with the Mind Stone that we get to see play out. I thought it was an interesting parallel between what we saw during the WandaVision broadcast, how it would skip around the way she wanted it, and how the Mind Stone chose to omit that from the footage in this instance in the Hydra base. The next scene, obviously an important moment between Wanda and Vision, and I loved how when she called him out on it, he walked through the wall. That reminds me exactly of what happened during Civil War, right before the Sokovia Accords were presented by Thunderbolt Ross. He walks through the wall and they say, hey, we talked about this, you've got to stop doing that. Now please don't let what's playing out on TV, the symbolism here, be lost on you. This guy's building a porch, you know, building Westview, building a fantasy, and it all collapses in on him. But the important part of this scene is what Vision says about grief. Grief has been a keyword throughout the episodes and the series in WandaVision. You heard Pietro say it, and ultimately give you grief. That's what you wanted, right? Who we now know is the words of Agatha Harkness. Grief, as he calls it, love persisting, is an interesting and positive way to spin something that, well, Scarlet Witch has in abundance. And I think what this line is meant to do is offer some hope that throughout this, even though she's full of despair and feels empty, and that the source of all of this craziness in the Hex is grief, if that truly is love persisting, there can be a happy ending. And I like that because, as I've said in a couple of other videos, if you've read House of M, which is one of the main storylines that this series has drawn heavily on, the chances of this ending well are, well, very slim. Now, the next scene is her storming through the lobby of the sword base. This is happening right before this series started, and in fact, we got this leaked storyboard for this scene 2 weeks ago. We covered it here at the channel, and now that this scene has played out in real time, everybody has access to it on Disney+. I may post some of those stills on my Instagram if you want to check them out. We had this down to the dialogue, exactly what was going to happen. Quick mention, though, in those original storyboard stills, there was going to be an Iron Man memorial going on in the background. I did not see that unless I missed it on one of the
Oh yeah, we ain't said Iron Man shit, but she did. But the true thing was when they said, when she said, I'm gonna see Vision body, you know, so I could, you know, do a memorial or something like that. So we did see that as a link, you know, dialogue link, you know, that he was, you know, giving us and shit like that. So yeah.
TVs, but she gets to see Vision's body. Hayward lets her through the door. He introduces himself and then explains what's going on.
Man,
and you know, the way he's putting it sort of makes it feel like he is baiting her into this. He's definitely saying stuff like, is that all you really want to do? You sure you just want to bury him?
Yeah,
he knew what was going to happen. He makes the guards stand down, but also tells her that you can't just walk out the front door with, as he puts it, $3 billion worth of vibranium. And when she finally goes down to the floor to see if she can feel Vision, she can't. And that's what prompts her to leave without his body. But one really important thing I want to point out about this episode, presumably Sword and director Hayward have had Vision's body for the last 5 years. It's unclear exactly how they got this out of Wakanda, but if they have, and as we find out later, they've tried to put him together and take him apart 1,000 times, yet he's spread out on all these tables as if this is the first time they're doing it. This is definitely a bait from Wanda. So when she says, I was hoping to just give him a burial, and he says that's all you want to do, he's hoping that she's going to help resurrect him and give him the weapon that he's looking for, and that's what comes to pass in the post-credit scene. Now, as if all the grief of seeing Vision like this, a lifeless robot, just a basic hunk of metal, a $3 billion piece of vibranium, as Hayward calls him, isn't enough, we find out that the thing sitting on her passenger side seat is the deed and title to a vacant lot in Westview that would have been the home that he wanted them to grow old in. It is a very poignant and extremely sad scene, and that's when Wanda absolutely loses it, and we finally get the shot that was in Monica Rambeau's memory when she leaves the Hex in episode 4 of Wanda breaking down and screaming. Some people assumed that's right before she resurrects Vision, Instead, she creates Vision with the rest of Westview, a complete creation. And as that's important because that's what's said later by Agatha moments later, but we'll get to that. First of all, it's important to mention that as she's creating this hex, most of the color is red, turning everything black and white, except for what's creating Vision seems to be based on the color of the Mind Stone as he sort of manifested in front of her. This now explains why he has no memories before Westview, because she's literally a figment of his imagination. It's not the Vision that we knew from the Infinity Saga. We're going to learn that in a couple of seconds anyway. This is a Vision that she's created in the image of Vision she remembered, which also makes me question what's going on with her kids if they're the same way, and that's what leads us to...
That's what I'm saying. Is the kids fake or real? Let me know in the comments. Is the kids fake or real, man? Let me know in the comments. Because if she can make Vision, you know what I'm saying, create him, it's her own image. She did the same thing with the two kids, you know what I mean? So, and plus she said, it's illusion. You know, she said something like
this
that.
next scene, as we pan out,
let me know in the comments,
sitting in the audience, clapping her hands. She finally has a good idea of what's going on, and she finally gives Wanda her name, Scarlet Witch, based on the myth of a witch as powerful as Wanda is, being able to just spontaneously create everything, and she literally calls it by its name, Chaos Magic. Now, as if that reveal isn't big enough and Scarlet Witch finally gets her name, we get the post-credit scene where we learn if that's not the Vision from Infinity Saga and Wanda didn't take his body, well, where is Vision? And as Hayward says, all they needed the entire time was a little bit of juice from the source, the original drone that he had sent in to try to kill Wanda, the 1980s.
There's a certain strain of bacteria called Lactobacillus reuteri that will help you grow bigger balls.
Drone they used so it didn't have to change shape or form when it went in came out glowing red during the next episode, and then they used it here, which I didn't like because they don't really explain that. I'm guessing they're not going to, but hey, that's in the Rick and Morty way. If you didn't know, Rick and Morty writers heavily influencing Marvel Phase 4. If you can't explain something without making huge plot holes or going to length to do it, maybe just leave it unexplained and let the audience figure it out. It doesn't exactly explain how they would have harnessed that power, but we get the reveal of Spectral Vision. Now, I don't want to speculate too much because that's actually going to be the topic of tonight's video, which I'm going to work on right after this, because there are some huge implications and ways this could break with Spectral Vision, especially lining up with the comics where he doesn't have any memory either, and we're going to get into all of that. But this reveal is super crazy because now we know that the launch that Hayward is planning for quote-unquote later in the day is launching Vision against Wanda. Well, and Wanda's going to have her own form of Vision. This is going to be nuts.
That's what I said. So it's going to be Vision, top of the new Vision. Wanda Vision, top of Vision. It's going to be lit, though. It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit, man.
Versus Vision, and the emotional pull of Wanda having to fight Vision for a second time. There are a ton of theories already brewing as to how this could go, which version we'll see of Vision, what it'll mean, and I'm sure you guys are going to let me know down in the comments all your thoughts about this. I am very excited to hear what they are, and I want to save this for the next video because these Easter egg videos are getting longer and longer and longer, and I know you guys don't want to watch an Easter egg video that's
hey, everything always, my boy. It was 17 minutes, man. I will watch the 17 minutes, man, because you know what I'm saying, I like Easter eggs, man. I like breakdowns. I know my people like breakdowns too. You feel me, man? If you know, I love watching these. You feel me? Being blown with you, I love watching these. So keep making these, man. You feel me? Because I watched my show. You know, I watched the show, like, last Friday or midnight. You know what I'm saying? This Friday, and then I always go to your channel and break. How you break it down and shit. But yeah, keep going, man. It's not more for me though, because I watched it. That's why it's lit for me. You know what I'm saying?
As long as the episode. So in a separate video tonight, we will release our thoughts on what's going on with Double Vision. Yes, an obvious 80s foreigner reference, and if you're just one person, like I said in the last video, is singing this for the rest of the day, then my job here is done. Let me know all your thoughts and crazy reactions to this episode.
Anyway, man, leave a like, man. So my channel, hit the bell if you're new. And yeah, that was WandaVision, episode 8, Easter egg, man, breakdown, man. And yeah, man, this is lit, man. I'm hyped. I'm hyped up. I'm hyped, man. You feel me? We got Vision, Agatha, man. We got new Vision. So we got two vision, new vision, you know what I'm saying? So hey, it's lit, man. Episode 9, I think it's the last episode, episode 9 next week. It better be an hour or 2. You feel me, man? Unless I heard rumors that it's supposed to be season 2, but I don't know how they would make season 2 if the Captain Marvel thing coming out. So it might be one thing and that's it, and then we're gonna go back and then we're gonna go to Captain Marvel show. You know, it's coming out a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying, March something. So, but yeah, man, I'm out, y'all, man. Let you know, put each and every day, man. And yeah, if you like these videos, man, and yeah, let me know in the comments, y'all, man. I love each one. I put me each and every day, and yeah, I'm gonna keep y'all these lit videos, man. You know, I love all of y'all, man. And yeah, I love all of y'all, man. Yeah, alright, peace.